Hello, my name is Joyous, and on this channel, I like to talk about whatever I want. Um, have you ever felt like you were almost ready? Like, if you just had a little more time, a little more confidence, if you could just quiet the voice in your head that says, not yet, so you wait. For clarity, for permission, for certainty, you spend weeks or months researching about the thing you want to do. You watch supposed experts on the topic as they rake in fame, money, success, and you soak in how they do it. You watch every video, read everything they post, and you sit back imagining yourself at that same level of success that they're experiencing. Or you scroll past someone else doing the thing you dream of without teaching you how to do it. And it seems like it's someone who just doesn't seem more talented than you, they just seem braver. And then you start the cycle over again. You'll be ready once X, Y, or Z happens. You'll be ready once you're done with this training. It's this never ending loop of you getting ready to be ready. But what if readiness isn't something you wait for? What if it's something you build, moment by moment, before you feel qualified? Today, we're breaking down the science of what happens in your brain when you act before you're ready, and why that might be the single most powerful way to reshape your identity, your mindset, and your life. Let's start by debunking a myth we all carry, the idea that one day you'll feel completely ready. The moment of total certainty, where doubt disappears and courage just kicks in. It's mostly fiction. Psychologists have studied this for decades and have found that what we think of as readiness is actually backward. Confidence doesn't lead to action. Action leads to confidence. One of the most powerful psychological forces behind this is cognitive dissonance. This occurs when our actions contradict our beliefs, and our brains, craving internal harmony, adjust one to match the other. When you commit to something, even if it's scary, your brain rises to meet it. That might sound like a motivational quote, but it's actually backed by decades of psychological research. Your mind is wired to make sense of your actions, and when your actions don't line up with your beliefs, that creates tension. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort we feel when our actions and our identity don't match. Introduced by psychologist Leon Festinger in 1957, it explains how we're motivated to reduce this discomfort, either by changing what we do or by changing what we believe about ourselves. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Let's say you don't believe you're ready to be seen, but you post a vulnerable video anyway. Your brain goes, wait a minute, this doesn't match. To ease this tension, it just starts adjusting your identity to match the action. If I just published a video, maybe I am someone worthy of being seen. That's how confidence is built. Not before you act, but after. Let me give you a classic example. It's one of the most famous experiments in psychology from the psychologist Festinger and another one named Carl Smith in 1959. Participants were asked to do a painfully boring task, like turning pegs on a board for a full hour. Afterward, they were asked to lie to the next participant and say, that was actually really fun and interesting. But here's the twist. Some were paid $20 to lie, while others were paid just $1. Then the researchers asked the participant, how much did you actually enjoy the task? The surprising result is that those who were paid $20 said it was boring. They knew they lied, but $20 was a good reason. No internal conflict, no dissonance. Those who paid $1, though, they were more likely to say they actually enjoyed the boring task. Why? Enter cognitive dissonance. Lying for just $1 wasn't enough to justify the lie, so their brains had to resolve this tension another way. Well, maybe it wasn't that boring. Maybe I kind of liked it. In other words, they changed their belief to match their behavior. This is the same mental process that happens when you say, I'm not ready, but do the thing anyway. Your brain wants things to match, so it updates your internal story. Well, I must be someone who's ready because I'm already doing it. Let's bring in another part of the brain that plays a key role here in your turning belief into action or gaining confidence in the situation, which is called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Your RAS is like a gatekeeper. It filters the world based on what you believe is possible for you. If you think you're not ready, your RAS will filter out opportunities. It won't let in the signs that say you've got this. But for the moment you act as if you are someone who's ready, your RAS starts filtering things differently. It starts looking for proof that your new belief is true. Suddenly you notice support. You hear encouragement. You see your own potential because your brain is now tuned in to believe it exists. Ever decide to buy a specific car and suddenly see it everywhere? That's your RAS at work. So, when you take actions aligned with your desired identity, when you speak up, show up, or try something new, your RAS begins filtering the world to support that identity. You notice supportive conversations, relevant opportunities, and people who affirm that version of you. Acting as your future self actually trains your brain to look for proof that it's already true. So, when you commit to something, even if it feels too big, too soon, your brain doesn't reject it. It works to become it. Because your identity isn't a fixed point, it's a living system. And that system responds to what you do, not just what you say or think or hope for. You don't wait until you're confident to act. You act, then confidence follows. The $1 group in the experiment didn't want to change their beliefs, but their actions demanded a new narrative. Similarly, when you take one bold action before you feel ready, your mind goes to work, rewriting the story of who you are. Not because you told it to, but because it had to. That's how we grow. Not from perfection, not from certainty, but from showing up while still shaking and letting the brain catch up. Say you believe, I'm not a leader, but then you're put in charge of a team project, and you do well. That contradiction makes your brain uncomfortable, so it adapts. It updates the belief to reduce the tension. Maybe I can lead. This is identity formation in real time, not through thinking, but through doing. And the more often you act out of alignment with your old beliefs, the faster those beliefs evolve. We assume we need to feel qualified before stepping into new roles, but in reality, the act of stepping in is what qualifies us. It's the experience itself, especially in the absence of certainty, that transforms who we are. Take the story of Maya, a software engineer who wanted to lead her first team but constantly second-guessed herself. She thought, I'll apply when I've mastered everything. But on the advice of a mentor, she volunteered for a low-stakes leadership role. It was rocky, but each week she learned something new. 6 months later, she wasn't just leading, she was mentoring others. That shift didn't happen before she acted, it happened because she acted. So what happens in the brain? To understand how action changes us, we need to zoom in on the brain. Your brain is a living, adapting organ. It reshapes itself based on your behavior. This is the essence of neuroplasticity. When you take a new action, especially one outside of your comfort zone, you create new neural pathways. Imagine stepping onto a fresh hiking trail. The first few walks are difficult. It's uneven, unfamiliar, but the more often you walk it, the smoother it becomes. Eventually, it's the path of least resistance. Your brain works the same way. Each decision to act, even when afraid, makes that identity easier to access next time. With neuroplasticity, your brain changes, not just metaphorically, physically. Every time you take an action, especially one outside of your comfort zone, your brain responds by rewiring itself. Think of your brain as like a dense forest. The paths you walk the most become clear, automatic, well-worn trails. Those are your habits, your beliefs, your default thoughts. But when you try something new, when you speak up even though your voice shakes, when you show up online for the first time, when you go to that class or apply for that opportunity, you're bushwhacking. You're carving a new neural trail. It's hard at first, awkward, inefficient, your brain resists it, but because it loves its usual paths. But with repetition, that new trail becomes smoother. It connects faster. The old path, I'm not ready, I'm not enough, I don't belong, starts to fade. That's neuroplasticity, your brain adapting in real time to what you repeatedly do. So what's actually happening? When you try something new, your brain fires off a unique pattern of neurons. Do it again and those neurons fire more efficiently. Keep repeating and they wire together. As Donald Hebb, a neuropsychologist, once said, neurons that fire together wire together. This is the science behind habit formation, skill development, and yes, identity. And over time, the I can't network weakens, while the I'm capable one strengthens. Your brain remembers what you do. Your brain doesn't care whether you feel ready, it just responds to what you do consistently. If you constantly act like someone who avoids risk, it builds pathways that reinforce hesitation and doubt. But if you consistently act, even imperfectly, like someone who takes small, meaningful risks, your brain builds that version of you. That's why you don't need to wait for confidence or clarity. The doing is what gives you both. Neuroplasticity is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. It's how you train your brain to believe the truth of your future self, not through wishful thinking, but through repetitive action. So when you act before you're ready, when you try something new, when you do the thing while still being scared, you're not just proving something to the world, you're literally changing your brain. You're making the impossible feel possible, one neural pathway at a time. So the identity feedback loop. Here's how the identity loop works. Step 1, you act, even without full belief. For example, let's say you're afraid of posting on social media and you do it anyway. Then step 2 comes. Dissonance arises. Your brain senses a gap. You believe that you're not someone who posts on social media, so this break between your belief and your action arises. And here's step 3. Your belief updates to close the gap. Suddenly, you're not telling yourself that you're afraid of posting on social media because you just did it. Now you say that you're someone who does post on social media. Next is step 4. A new behavior follows. Because belief has shifted. Once you believe you're someone that posts on social media, you're willing to do it again a little bit more because, well, you're not afraid anymore. Step 5. The loop repeats, reinforcing the new identity. This loop explains why habit formation is so powerful. James Clear in Atomic Habits says that every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The more votes you cast, the more evidence you build. It's not just about results, it's about becoming the kind of person who shows up. You are not someone suddenly fixed or perpetually broken. You are fluid, and that fluidity is activated by action. So, how do we move from knowing this to using it? Step 1, we reframe fear. Fear isn't a danger sign, it's a direction sign. When you feel resistance, it's often because something important is on the other side. Step 2, highlight progress over perfection. Waiting for the perfect plan often leads to paralysis. Instead, focus on movement. Small and perfect steps compound. Step 3, take action, and action creates clarity. Don't wait for clarity to act. Act to gain clarity. It's in the doing that you discover whether something is aligned or not. Step 4, set identity-based goals. Instead of I want to run a marathon, try I want to become the kind of person who trains consistently. That identity-based framing sticks instead of going event-based or goal-based goals, if that makes sense. Normalize discomfort. Growth is not a clean or comfortable process, but you can teach yourself to associate discomfort with progress instead of failure. Mindset isn't just how you think, it's how you interpret experience, and that interpretation changes every time you choose courage over comfort. So here are some practices and tools. Here are 4 powerful tools to help bridge the gap between intention and identity. What would I do today if I fully believed I was already insert whatever identity that you want to be? Then you go do that thing. What would you do today if you already fully believed you were already a runner? You'd go run. For example, for me, I've always thought that once I was thin, I'd be going out and socializing, posting videos online, and generally being a social butterfly. I'm now in the practice of doing these things because that's what I'd be doing if I was thin. Tool 2 is the micro bravery challenge. Pick one small thing each day to speak up, post the video, apply for the role. Bravery builds identity faster than affirmations. Tool number 3 is visualization and action. Before a difficult task, close your eyes. Imagine doing it successfully, then immediately take one small action to anchor that vision in reality. Or maybe write a list of things that you do to get to that visualized idea and complete them. Tool 4, build a proof list. Write down every stretch, every brave moment, every action taken. Your brain will begin to see a pattern. This is who I am now. For example, for me, I was writing this script in my free time, recording a video and posting it, and I'm going to do this every time I'm free to support the habit building of becoming a content creator. These aren't hacks, they're habits of identity construction. Readiness isn't a gate that opens for the chosen few. It's a road that's paved by those who walk it, afraid, unsure, and determined. Every time you do the thing you're not ready for, you build proof. Proof that your fear is a beginning, not an ending. Proof that you are becoming the person you imagine. Identity isn't found in the future, it's built in the present, through action. So whatever you're waiting for, stop waiting. Start scared. Start small. Just start. Because the moment you act up, you are no longer who you were. I'm not sure why my video cut off right here, but I was just saying, yeah, because the moment you act, you are no longer who you once were. You are someone in motion, and your brain will catch up with this new person that you are creating. So thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Looking forward to having a good conversation with y'all. Bye.